Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Backlog Banter. I'm Tucker, and that is Abram, and today we're going to be talking about Smash Brothers. We've been doing this channel for probably 2 months now, about that, and we still have yet to really talk about Smash Brothers. But tomorrow, a new character for Fighters Pass 2 is being announced, and we're going to talk about just fighters in general, DLC, what we like from Smash. I don't know. It's going to be a general topic, but we're going to throw our shit into the wind and see where it lands. No, that's
You're
not how
making
the
me laugh
expression
today.
goes.
You make me laugh today. I feel like I'm in a very jovial mood, and I think it's a perfect time to talk about Super Smash Bros. With you.
I agree.
Not
I'm very
only
excited for this discussion.
right. To be honest with you, 40% of the motivation is we're capitalizing on views. This video is
Oh,
going to do well, and that fucking Smash reveal tomorrow, 3-minute trailer, 3-minute reaction video, that's 600 views right there.
That's easily.
But here's the thing. Not only does it get us a lot of views, we also really care a lot about Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Wow. But for real, it actually is one of both of our favorite Nintendo franchises, and we have talked a lot about it personally off camera. So we're going to talk about it a little bit here with you guys because, the presidential debate last night was a little bit heated.
Oh, I remember
but
that one.
it's not comparable to discussions about Smash Brothers DLC.
Oh, it gets worse than that.
Fuck, it gets bad. But here's the thing, it also gets really good when we get a good character announced. So Tucker, I think the first thing we should do is just, in a perfect world, what character do you want to see get announced tomorrow?
Okay. My ideal Smash character, and has been this for quite a long time. Are we gonna do like my personal favorite or the what? I don't know.
Well,
There's so many avenues.
You want me to
go
first? You want me to go first and guide you? You can
You're
follow
gonna
my
be
footsteps.
fucking QB or Slippy Toad, you piece of shit.
And one of them will be, but here's the thing. I want to give you two. I want to give you my number one fucking dream Gatorade get hyped Tim Geddes moment,
Okay.
and then the realistic prediction.
Okay. Realistic.
My dream character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is QB, the protagonist of Box Boy. It's a bizarre choice, but I think QB would represent that era of Nintendo doing digital downloadable titles on 3DS eShop. There's a whole ton of them. There's Pushmo, Dylan's Rolling Western, Box Boy, Steel Diver, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, all of those. And I think that QB would be the weirdest character to choose.
Of course.
I think that gives the most opportunity for an interesting moveset.
Sure.
But my realistic choice, and I tweeted about, I gave him a whole tweet today. This wasn't in my hype retweet. My ideal realistic character is Dante from Devil May Cry.
Because the meme potential is just off the fucking charts right there.
Of
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
You got that little fucking sticker, the silver one with the red text on the fucking Nocturne box. But here's the thing. Capcom deserves another rep. The fact that Capcom only has one rep is ridiculous. With how not only important they are to the industry, but how important they are to Nintendo. Not only with their extended partnerships with things like Monster Hunter and Mega Man and all kinds of things, but Resident Evil and other Capcom games are part of the Capcom 5, which I've mentioned on this channel before, which was a partnership between Capcom and Nintendo.
Well, also, hey, first off, you're an idiot, and Ryu and Ken are also in the game.
Go fuck them. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
them. They have 3
you're right.
reps.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot for a second that Street Fighter was published by Capcom because I don't play Street Fighter.
Okay.
But even still, they deserve more reps because Nintendo and Capcom have a really deep and intrinsic relationship, from the Capcom 5 to Monster Hunter and handhelds to all kinds of various things.
Yeah.
But Leon Kennedy, Claire Valentine would be cool, but I don't think they translate as well as Dante would. I mean, sure. Dante has a Smash Brothers moveset baked into his intrinsic gameplay. And if you played DMC5, if you could have a final Smash where Dante puts on his fucking hat and grabs his belt and moonwalks across the stage to blow up everybody, that'd be fucking phenomenal. So that is my dream character that's not going to happen, then my dream realistic character.
Okay. Those are good. All right. All right, I'm gonna play off of those, and then we're gonna spin off in all sorts of directions. There's all sorts of directions this can go. Yeah. This is gonna go wide and far. I don't know what I was trying to reference there, but my personal character that I've always wanted in Smash, I think would work so well for Smash, and it's a weird character that would make a lot of sense. Maxwell from Scribblenauts.
Oh, it's not what I thought you were
Scribblenauts is
gonna
a
say.
series that doesn't get enough love. It has had a couple crappy entries as of recently. It's kind of a dying franchise. But I remember Scribblenauts coming out in the DS, and that was just my shit as a kid. And the moveset potential from a game where you can create anything is off the fucking charts. It's ridiculous. I mean, he can summon anything for any of his moves. It's the villager and Game and Watch and all those characters that combine a bunch of weird stuff for their moveset times a billion. It's insane.
He's really
That's
iconic too visually.
yeah, of course. And
And
my dream would be
yeah,
that they keep the 2D style, as in like
that would be really cool.
Game and Watch does,
Yeah.
or Parappa in PlayStation All Stars. Like he's 2D, he's hand drawn style. All of his things are like pencil drawn. God, that was so cool.
I think people also forget how important Scribblenauts and Super Scribblenauts were to the DS.
Yeah,
Like
those are great
were
games. Both of them.
humongous games at the time. And the DS library is not especially well represented. I thought the reason I started to jump and get excited is because I think another character you're going to talk about is also from that era.
Yeah,
and
sure. Eventually,
should
I'll
be
talk about
Smash.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Maxwell would be super cool. I'd really fuck with Maxwell.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. All right, I was gonna try to find Super Scribblenauts in my DS case, but that's not worth the effort.
I love that game.
Yeah, great game. But the DS era is something that I think deserves more representation. Obviously, the two of us are a little bit biased because that was our generation that we grew up in. Time wise. So the other ones that I've always wanted from that are Cooking Mama, which is the one I think you were thinking about.
No.
Oh, well, that's another one that I've always wanted. Cooking Mama would be great in Super Smash Brothers, and also Professor Layton. I really
there
think
he
Professor
is.
Layton,
There we go.
that would be. I mean, Layton series is one of my favorites, and Professor Layton would have that weird move set. You could work all sorts of puzzles in, and canonically Herschel Layton is a fencer, so he can use that. And my dream Final Smash for Professor Layton is the hand-built scrap helicopter that he makes in the anime movie. It's so cool. I mean, just flying by cannons, shooting down. That'd be awesome.
What if he's a
Luke
Marth
and Emmy
clone?
come out. I mean, I honestly think there's a Smash 4
There must be.
mod with Layton over like Lucina or something like that. But yeah, those are some other characters I've always wanted.
I would fuck with. I mean, I have no connection to Cookie Mama. She's important, but I think moveset potential and for me, resonance-wise, Max will be awesome.
Yeah.
And Layton, if Layton got into Smash, I'd finally have to play Layton's games because I don't play characters in Smash that I haven't played the games of.
Okay. I don't believe that.
That's true. Name a character that you think breaks that rule.
I can't at the moment off the top of my head.
See, because you can't do it because it's a rule and it's true and it's 100% followed every single time.
Okay, all right, great. You've never played Metal Gear.
I've played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Is that Solid Snake? Is the old one Solid Snake?
I don't fucking know. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I want to start playing the Metal Gear games.
It's a different character, I'm pretty sure. Okay, whatever. I don't know anything about Metal Gear. You don't know anything about Metal Gear. Let's move on. So there's a lot of avenues. I've said a lot of avenues.
Wait, I want your realistic character.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't know how exactly I want to fit this in. Because realistic to me, realistic to different people means different things when it comes to Smash. Because Smash predictions are so personal and can go all over the place. And of course, we have no idea what they're thinking. I, as the biggest ARMS fan on the planet, never would have expected there to be ARMS in Smash. Are you kidding me?
I'll never forget this one.
Oh, that was great. And that was Byleth. I hate that. That was lame. But the announcement was lame. Holy shit. But ever since Smash Ultimate Wave 2 was announced, 6 characters for DLC, I wrote down a prediction list. Should I put up my one character? I really don't have an ideal, realistic character, to be completely honest.
Let's whip one out.
God.
Or don't. I don't want to pressure.
I think Gino is more possible than people might be letting on. I mean, considering that Banjo and Ridley and King K. Rool are in the game, Gino's like the last one from that old guard that hasn't quite cracked it.
He was planned for Melee also. Mm-hmm. There's documentation of that. Gino, people say Gino isn't likely, just don't want Gino in the game.
I don't care about Gino, but I mean, it's definitely something that would, bring up the hype because that's one that at least the loud Smash Brothers crowd wants. I don't know how popular it would make, but hey, I don't think Zachary cares about that. Terry, Bogard, and Min Min in Smash. So those are not gonna be big sellers.
The only way I'd be excited about Geno is if it meant that the Super Mario RPG released on SNES Online the same day.
It totally would if that happened. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
But you said something important that I think is really important to state going forward, because Sakurai operates like us here at Backlog Banter, where the only rule is that there's no rules. So
I can say penis whenever I want.
One thing I want to say in this discussion early on is that subscribing to the whole, okay, he was a spirit, so he can't be a fighter, or oh, he's obscure, so he's not going to be in Smash, or oh, mature franchise, not going to happen. All of those rules have been thrown out the window so long ago that it's a little tiring to hear people use the same refrains.
Yeah.
So
there should be no refrains, and I mean, the trophy getting upgraded to a character has been debunked. Spirits being upgraded fighters has been debunked. Like there's no rules, and I think that's important to know. But all right, so here is what I was getting at earlier: the 6-character prediction list that I originally started before Min Min was announced. So I have since updated, and I'll continue to update it because there's no way I get any of these right, especially in the order. But this is the list of predictions. So originally I had Geno, Rayman, Travis Touchdown, Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Crash Bandicoot, and Master Chief. All right? And then since I have updated that, obviously putting ARMS in the first slot, which turned into Min Min, and removing Rayman. So the other ones being Travis Touchdown, Rex and Pyra, Geno, Crash, and Master Chief. And that is close to an ideal thing for me. I don't care about Travis Touchdown, but I do think he's pretty likely. But all the other ones are just some of my top tier ones.
I would be so happy with Travis. Travis is another one that's really high up there for me. And also very likely, not only the whole fucking Suda51 no comment debacle,
Yeah,
which frankly
I
don't really think means much, but removed from the context of that, he is a very important character for Nintendo. And again, in a resurgent sense.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm sure the last thing they fucking want is to dump money into No More Heroes 3, then have that game flop like it probably could and probably will, because those games have very cult following. Do you understand the way that you will watch me take my clothes off and exclaim excitedly on stream tomorrow if Travis Touchdown gets announced and No More Heroes 1 gets re-released on Switch the same day? Like, that is ideal and likely. I actually think your list that you just listed off is pretty likely.
Yeah.
I think Rayman has always been a pipe dream.
Yeah.
I don't think Rayman's happening.
No, but that's why I removed him from the list.
Yeah.
I do think the other ones have more cultural relevance. But man, Rayman would work so well for Smash. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously.
Yeah, he would. I mean, I don't.
Let's put that out there. Let's put this out there. All right. You and I have been having Super Smash Brothers character conversations for longer than some of our viewers have been alive. I don't know if 4-year-olds are watching our content, but if it's possible, then it's true. But the main point of contention between the two of us, and the main reason that I'm always excited to talk about Smash with you, whether it devolves into a 2020 presidential debate or not, is that you don't like the idea of more third-party characters in Smash.
I do not.
And I personally like to focus on that. And it seems that they have a vested interest in doing third-party characters, but also they're obviously doing some first-party characters as well with Byleth and Min Min. So I don't think that either of us are going to be completely satisfied, but we'll certainly have a good time talking about either way.
Here's what I want to say. I want to clarify my position. For me, Smash Brothers is a celebration of Nintendo's history, because for a long time that's what it was. Even up through Brawl, the two third-party characters in Brawl being Sonic and Snake, one of them had a lot of justification to be there. Sonic is intrinsically important to Nintendo's history.
Of course.
Snake was only there because Kojima and Sakurai are friends, and that's just on the record, which is ridiculous, but it was a guest character. And then we started to trend in a direction that I think fundamentally changed what Smash Bros. Was, to being about celebrating video game history as a whole. And I think that's just a different appeal.
Yeah.
However, I think that as Nintendo with the Switch moves into a new lane, one that is more in the ring with its competitors, and more closely tied to Microsoft, I do think that Nintendo is now in a position where celebrating the larger history no longer feels like It's them adding characters that have no relevance to the audience anymore,
Sure.
but is instead a more natural extension of how Nintendo is moving as a company.
Mhm.
For instance, when Cloud came to Smash 4, I was like, okay, we played Theatrhythm. Okay, but the Cloud Strife's whole ethos is that he fucked Nintendo over.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be a Nintendo N64 game, and then became a PlayStation game, and then all of a sudden that game no longer had any relevance to the audience. But now things are different.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that the face of Nintendo is different means that Smash Brothers as an entity and the way it's larger than life has to change. So I am way more open to third-party characters now,
Mhm.
because I think it, again, more closely tracks with what Nintendo's doing as a company. At the same time, though, if fucking Crash Bandicoot or Steve from Minecraft get in, we're gonna have major issues.
That blows my mind. That absolutely titillates me for many reasons. Personally, and I've gone on the record with you many times saying this, is that I have always wanted Smash Brothers to be more of a celebration of video game history. I'm obviously major Nintendo fan. Grew up as a Nintendo fan. Most of my games I've played are Nintendo, but I've never been as into Nintendo history as you has, which is where I think our disparaging comes from. Or I don't know.
Disparities.
Sure, disparity. Sure, but for me, the idea of new characters bringing in their personal series mechanics, their own music sets, their own related costumes, a map, and skins, and certainly expanding the appeal of Smash Brothers and essentially the lore. That all these characters have technically met canonically in the Smash Brothers universe, whatever. I think is a very big appeal to me, and as Smash Brothers has trended towards accepting more characters from the Out Realms, to pull a Fire Emblem reference there, I have wanted it to go bigger and bigger, and we've gotten that with Banjo-Kazooie, a character that doesn't have relevance today and is now owned by Microsoft. Oh, oop.
But Banjo has a lot of relevance to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Rare basically propped up the fucking N64, releasing almost as many seminal games as Nintendo did. But I think your point is salient with Joker and fucking Terry Bogard
Yeah.
and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And Hero.
Yes. Well, I mean, they really pushed Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. Remember that? Remember that trailer and that song being played over and over again?
Couldn't forget it.
Yeah.
It fucking worked on you.
It did, and I regret that. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But I don't know. How else should we take this discussion? We've kind of clarified our points. I've said my list. We've said our dream characters.
Well, here's the first.
Oh, cut out. Hold on.
But what I was saying before you fucking went to the fucking Phantom Zone and back was that I think I need an apology, or at least an acknowledgement that my Smash list has become more reasonable, because I used to be anti third party. Period. But I think we're trending in a similar direction now.
Okay.
And how I want to segue out of that is I want to talk about a third party character that relates directly to what just happened. Your Zoom crashed. I've seen a lot of fucking speculation on Twitter today.
And naturally.
Of people saying the next rep is Crash.
God, I hope so.
Here's what's weird about Crash. Crash is not important. Nobody should like Crash, but they do. The Crash Bandicoot series was fucking a blemish on Naughty Dog's otherwise incredible development record. It's simply an awful series of poorly designed 3D platformers that wish they were 2D platformers but aren't. And when they try to be 2D platformers, they just feel bad. When they're 3D platformers, they're fucking awful. Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped is the only one that's okay. So the idea that he's allowed in Smash Brothers, I think, is a fallacy, because I think we should still have some standards. But in all honesty, even though I hate Crash Bandicoot as a series and as a character, I do think it's pretty fucking likely that we get Crash tomorrow.
I am reserving judgment for tomorrow. I'm and this is probably just me being kind of burned by Byleth's announcement, to be 100% honest. Like the trend had been going so interestingly, and then it was like, this is the last Smash. Like in our minds, it was one of the last Smash characters. Or I guess we knew that Fighter Pass 2 was coming, We didn't really know what it meant, or there's just more DLC in development or something like that. And then they were like, tomorrow morning, tune in. It's the last Smash character for Final Pass 1. Holy shit, who's it gonna be? There's just 3 going on. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and it's like Fire Emblem Three Houses with
He is
the
my
one
favorite.
boring character from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
He is my favorite from Fighter Pass 1. I'm going to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Followed by Banjo-Kazooie.
Mhm.
But it's funny you say that because I want to talk to you about the Three Houses analog for what this could be.
Okay. Question.
No, what I'm saying is the character that is very likely, but people don't want. Just like how a Fire Emblem Three Houses rep was inevitable, same way we got Corrin.
Oh, I see.
I think
Yeah.
the Pokemon Gen 8 rep is inevitable,
Yeah.
and it will take up one of these spots.
Yeah.
I am in the midst of a Pokemon moment I'm feeling Pokemon right now. I'm feeling it. The TCG, the games, I'm really feeling it right now. To borrow verbiage from our boy Shulk. So I would be happy with that. And I think that Cinderace could be a really cool fighter. I think that if we remove the fact that it's a Pokemon Gen 8 rep from the fighter, which is impossible to do, but if we do that, I think that it could be an interesting character. Because to an extent, Fire Emblem characters are very homogenized.
Sure.
I do think that Byleth did some interesting things.
Yeah.
And I think he has a unique play style. But I really think that a Pokemon Gen 8 rep is not only likely, but could add a fun new play style to the roster.
Okay.
It would just also be another Pokemon.
Another third evolution fire starter Pokemon.
Well, we could get Rillaboom or we could get Inteleon, but honestly, I'd rather have Cinderace of any of those 3.
Or Toxtricity, or
Toxtricity would be great too.
Poison Electric. That would be cool. Here's the thing. All right, you know I love Pokemon. That's not in debate. It will never be. But I'm tired of boring Pokemon getting into Smash. Like, here's the thing. The reason I'm mostly disappointed with Byleth is not that I don't love Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's not the case at all.
It's in your top 50 games of all time, card in the corner.
Top 15. Oh, thank you. But is that they chose the one character from Fire Emblem Three Houses that doesn't have a fucking personality. Everyone else in that game is just bursting with charm and personality, and they chose the one that stands there and doesn't have fucking facial expressions and doesn't say a word. I like Smash characters when they show the personality of the series and of the character in crazy ways.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that means Mega Man moving like robotically and kind of like a NES sprite, which is bland but represents the series and is cool, or Banjo-Kazooie, who are just incredibly animated and all of their sounds and all of their noises represent their series so well. But Byleth kind of just wasn't another bland anime swordsman. Nothing against the game, but seriously, come on. But which character were you talking about?
I was saying Cinderace would be really cool.
Oh,
But you got me on the
Cinderace, yeah.
How do you say his name? Toxtricity? Toxtricity? There's an I there in the middle that makes me nervous. But he would be very cool. Honestly, that would be awesome.
But what it's getting at is that I'm saying that I don't want another Pokemon rep, even though it's likely. Like that would be a pretty big hype killer for me, even as a huge Pokemon fan. And I think a lot of Pokemon fans agree with me, which means that there's not really an audience that appeals to, which I think is kind of sad, and it kind of would just be for promotion.
You say that after Sword and Shield are the 3rd best-selling games in the franchise.
No, I know, but I'm saying that Pokemon fans don't want it and Smash fans don't want it. So who's the audience for that?
Well, see, we run the risk, and I think the reason that Nintendo is partially involved, at least they were for Fighter Pass 1 and picking the reps, is because the finger on the pulse of the gaming community that we exist in is not the finger of the pulse in the gaming community that exists.
Yeah.
20 million people bought Smash Ultimate, right? Or
yeah.
in that
Something
ballpark.
Like that, yeah.
16, I think, million people bought Sword and Shield. Those numbers are indisputable, and I think it's understood that beyond the context of people who not only know the people who are dialed in enough to see Masahiro Sakurai retweet the announcement for the direct and get pushed us and to translate it, those are the people that don't want a Pokemon rep.
Yeah.
But the other fucking 15,900,999 fucking fill in the rest of the zeros and nines. You know what my point is. Are excited for a Pokemon rep. So I do think it's going to happen. If it happens tomorrow, I think it will happen tomorrow. If it does happen, because of Tundra
Sure. Yeah.
on Tundra. Um, I'm trying to think what else people are talking about in a big way, because we talked about Geno a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about Crash.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
Sora.
people talk about Sora.
I don't talk about Sora because I don't care about Sora, and I personally think he's not very likely, and also I have no connection to the Kingdom Hearts series. So
Sora is dangerously close to being the most anime swordsman of the anime swordsman trope that they could include, because they sure as fuck can't get Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck in Smash Brothers.
yeah,
But Sora is trapped in so much licensing hell, and
yeah,
Square Enix is already so timid about what they put in Smash.
yeah, exactly.
Like remember the fucking 2 music tracks for Cloud? I
Yeah,
don't think that Sora is likely, and
yeah,
I fucking know that in some way they're wrapped up in Geno, but that's a different situation. Everyone
mm-hmm.
knows that Sora and Geno are different situations.
Yeah.
But then people also talk about. Well, here's what I want to talk about with you.
Sure. Okay.
You said Master Chief
Yeah.
and Steve. I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about both of them in a similar breath, because I do think that a proper Microsoft rep should happen
Yeah, I agree.
to be representative of the current partnership. And I don't think that Banjo was that, because Banjo is not a Microsoft character.
Yeah.
That's fucking Banjo's current home, but Banjo's heart will always lie in the Nintendo audience.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I would prefer Master Chief to Steve,
Mm-hmm.
which is a sentence that 2016 Abram would have shot me for.
Oh God.
But I just think that, well, honestly, as we be like, well, he's more iconic, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
He's a bigger presence right now, but he's not.
No, he's not.
That's why I say Steve is the more likely one, but I'd rather have Master Chief or the Arbiter. I'd fuck with the Arbiter in Smash, but that's never gonna happen, because you have to be a very particular sort of person to know who the Arbiter is.
It's certainly not me, because I don't know what that means.
The Arbiter is the Covenant elite. You play as Halo 2.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Didn't know that, but now I do. Okay. Well, let's talk about good old Mr. Steve Minecraft. All right, Steven Minecraft, Minecrafterson. Oh,
Okay.
what?
There's one other that we need to talk about similar to him.
Oh,
We
okay.
can almost throw in the same conversation if you want to.
Sure. Just put it out there.
You want me to say Jonesy, or should we not even say his name? Jonesy would make me actually angry.
Yeah, that would be. Here's the thing. There's not any characters that would personally make me angry. I'm not like, even if it's a Pokemon rep. I was more excited for Incineroar than most people I know when that happened.
Great moveset.
Yeah, Incineroar was great. But yeah, I wouldn't really be upset if for a Fortnite rep. I'm more hesitant because of, I don't know how the longevity of Fortnite. I know it's super popular now, but I'm not sure if it's going to have Minecraft levels of interest in 4 years or something like that. But Minecraft. All right, Minecraft is.
We've talked about it extensively on this channel.
It's the perfect video game, and Steve is not necessarily an interesting character, but the world of Minecraft is so ingrained in who that character is and what he can do that it would inherently make a very unique moveset with lots of different potential. The remixes for songs, the concept of a stage, like everything about Minecraft is relevant, extremely popular, best-selling game of all time, C, relevant to Nintendo being on 3 other platforms, and D, has potential.
Emblematic of the partnership with Microsoft also.
Yes, also that. Yeah, so there's E. There's 5 letters that go towards it. And I do think that the hate for Mr. Steve Minecraft is just comes from a place of malice towards Minecraft, which I don't think is fair.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't know why I harbor that malice, considering it's one of my top 15 games of all time, and seldom few games I've played more than Minecraft. There might be something about his design,
sure,
that I think might be a little bit boring. Well, here's an interesting fucking can of worms. Master Chief alt skin. You know what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, I would say that if Steve in Minecraft is there, of course, Steve a couple of recolors, Alex a couple of recolors, and I do think that like a Mario and Luigi skin are likely because they have the Super Mario mashup pack or whatever that's been on the Wii U and Switch. I think that'd be pretty cool, and yeah, and I think that they would go for more references in the skins, which is something that not a lot of characters can do.
Now, you said that Minecraft is a perfect game. There's
Yeah.
another perfect game that needs another rep.
Star
Fox
64.
64.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about this.
Oh, I know you are.
Well, here's the thing.
But that doesn't mean anything for anyone else.
Right. But hear me out, because I think I have a compelling case. Wolf,
Slippy Toad.
Falco, yes, but give me a second. Wolf, Falco, and Fox all play the same. They're all clones of each other, basically. They've got different moves. They're clones. It's that simple.
Yep.
We need a Star Fox rep that isn't a clone. There's two ways you can go, and I'm equally compelled by both. You get Slippy Toad, or you get General Pepper.
Okay.
General Pepper could have a really interesting moveset because he doesn't pilot an R-Wing in the games. What if you had a General Pepper who doesn't fight, but he commands, like Olimar, ships? His side B calls an R-Wing to shoot. He falls off the stage and a Landmaster comes below him to lift him back up. Look at that moveset potential. Or get
a very small Landmaster?
Very small Landmaster.
Okay.
I think it'd be goofy and fun. Same with Slippy. He could throw wrenches. He could do things of that nature. He could have an alt skin that's his Uncle Grippy Toad. There's a lot of potential. But I want to talk about a character that actually is serious now, because I would be over the moon with the Star Fox rep. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not.
The last thing we need to, I think, the last major category we need to discuss is an indie rep.
Yeah.
Because Sakurai has been teasing the balls of the indie scene for quite a while with Shovel Knight and Shantae as assist trophies.
Shantae's not an assist trophy. Shantae is a spirit. I'm just letting you know.
Thank you for correcting me, because I would have honestly 100% said she has an assist trophy. But then the premium Mii costumes of Sans Undertale and fucking Cuphead
and Vault Boy.
Yeah, but we're talking about indies.
Yeah,
pleb. But Turbo Pleb. But that was a cool costume.
Oh, Vault Boy. Oh, I wish Vault Boy was in that game. Another 2D character using all the VATS things and what's the upgrade tree from Fallout? But like he's got such an animated character with all the different things, and he's got all this. Oh, that would be so cool. But that's not likely, obviously.
I've never played Fallout. I'd like to.
Interesting. Okay.
But do you think we're gonna get an indie rep in Smash?
I don't think so. I think that almost unfortunately, but not necessarily, the indie rep, if it was going to be a thing, would be Steve, because Minecraft is the indie game, and regardless of that, now that it's become bigger than that, it obviously had its humble beginnings as just Notch making the game. So I think that Shovel Knight would have been the indie rep to be, but then wasn't. And technically, if Steve gets in, I would consider that the indie rep.
I don't think he really counts anymore. Because sure that those roots are there, but I don't think that's what Steve represents anymore.
Sure.
But Shovel Knight was the obvious choice.
Yeah,
but
I always wanted Shovel Knight. Oh, that would have been so cool.
I still think. Again, we were saying that the only rule is that there's no rules, so it could happen in the same game. That seems like a little bit of a bigger ask.
Yeah.
I do think that the indie scene is so important to Nintendo right now that an indie rep will get into Smash Brothers proper.
Okay. Yeah. So what are your possibilities for that?
I think the one that's left, the big one, is Hollow Knight.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Because that game got an enormous second wind on Switch. It was featured very heavily in the 2018 E3 Direct. Mm-hmm. Silk Song has been intrinsically tied to the Switch.
Sure.
Every indie world were asked about Silk Song, and I think Hollow Knight has that level of fame and an iconic design that I think makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think would be emblematic of what Nintendo has done in the indie scene since, last gen where they started, but then when they really got their feet under them with the whole branding and all the marketing and everything on Switch. So that's who I would say is likely if we get an indie rep.
There's another one that I don't know how much you know about, but I think would work for Smash and does very much represent the indie community, the indie game seen is Quote from Cave Story. Cave Story is another one where you could call it the indie game. It is the one that started it all, and Quote would work fantastically for a Smash moveset.
Also, Quote has a very deep history with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, WiiWare, right?
It was on WiiWare. It was on DSiWare. I think it had a standalone release on DS. It was on 3DS. It was on, I don't know if it's on Wii U. It's definitely on Switch now.
Yeah.
And Quote is very iconic. That's probably Nicalis' biggest character. Shout out to Crystal Crisis, which is a really fun puzzle fighting game with Nicalis characters.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's actually pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Not Blade Strangers. Never played Blade Strangers. This is Crystal Crisis. Shout out to that game. I reviewed that a long time ago. But that Quote is likely. I think that's a good poll.
Okay.
I have another one I want to talk to you about.
Okay, let's just keep going.
Are you familiar with a company called Sega?
I might have heard. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Sega needs more than one rep.
I agree.
Hold on, fact check me on that. They don't have a second rep, right?
Well, Bayonetta kind of, and Joker kind of.
Fuck, I'm off my game today. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But those are more publishing partners with Atlas and Platinum.
Yeah.
I think we need another Sega proper rep.
Sure.
Thank you. I was about to say
I knew it.
Yeah. Yes. I would love II.
Why not? I'll be down for that. No connection to Monkey Ball, but why not?
Can you imagine what an interesting moveset a character in a sphere would provide?
Not really. To be 100% honest, not really. It's like playing his fucking Electrode.
But I think another Sonic rep is probably the more.
Yeah, and I was actually
choice.
Considering I was looking at this list that I made during the Smash 4 days. I have notes all the way back from 2015 or so, and a list that I made that I really wanted to be of characters I really wanted in Smash. As I said, Maxwell, Professor Layton, Cooking Mama, Shovel Knight. I do personally want Waluigi. I feel like it's the last big Nintendo character or Mario character that needs to be in the game.
That's not true.
Fuck you. But Tails and Eggman, it is honestly strange that Sonic does not have another rep. The iconicness of both Tails and Eggman, of Tails being Sonic's Luigi and Eggman being his Bowser, those characters are ingrained in video game history, and their rivalries and friendships are almost they're on the level of that not many video game characters really get to. And I'm fine if Tails is like an Echo or a semi-clone or whatever. If he has the spin dash, if he has the same thing, but he can use his tails to fly, and he can use mechanics and stuff. He has his own things, and he has the plane for his final smash, all that kind of stuff. I do think that would be really cool. And same thing with Dr. Eggman. I mean, both of those characters are iconic. They're very animated. I feel like they would represent their series very well. And it's honestly, again, strange that Sonic does not have another character.
Yeah, I think both of those are the obvious choices, and the ones that would get in.
I don't want Shadow, personally.
I mean, Shadow's the obvious Echo. I don't think that Tails makes sense as an Echo because he just fills a different role than Sonic.
Yeah.
Whenever you play Sonic 2 and Tails, he tries to keep up. He does his best. Little boy does his best, but that's not his specialty. But no, I think that another Sonic rep would be great. But are there any others you want to shout out in particular? Because I think I basically exhausted my fucking well.
Yeah, there's one final one that from my perspective and my dream game of Smash incorporating all of the franchises. Oh, you've got it. Sounds like you've got a different one. There's no way you're going to say the one I'm going to say. But I do think that Scorpion from Mortal Kombat is kind of the next big fighting game rep that I think a funny, watered down Nintendo version of Scorpion I think would be perfect for Smash. The Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, rivalry is always been there. Scorpion is certainly the most iconic character from that series. I don't know. I see you doubting me, but I do think that Scorpion would be a great choice.
It's interesting because I think that Scorpion has so much importance to Nintendo as a company in the 90s. That's one of the games with Night Trap that got the ESRB established.
Yeah.
I mean, Link and Howard famously was like, we'll never allow games like this on the platform. Speaking about Night Trap and MK and things. Well, actually, no.
Both which are on Switch.
No, sorry, it was Night Trap that would they said would never, because MK was on SNES, but it had
No blood.
Blue Blood or No Blood,
No
one
blood.
of the
Yeah.
two. Well, I
You
know
could turn
that.
on blood with a code
No,
or
that was
something.
the Genesis version. That's
Or
why they got in
something. Yeah.
trouble, because the Genesis
Gotcha.
version
You're
had
right.
actual blood. You had to enter a code. But some iteration of Mortal Kombat was definitely on SNES. But the point is, the reason I hesitate is because if Smash Bros. Is a celebration of these characters' histories, I don't think you can do Scorpion's justice in Smash.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And I think that you run the risk of making a mockery of Mortal Kombat instead of paying an homage by dumbing down a fatality for a Final Smash.
Okay, yeah.
So those are the grounds that I wouldn't. From an opponent's perspective, from a design perspective, from a fun factor perspective, I think a Scorpion, Sub-Zero, one of those makes a lot of sense. But I just think that you can't do Mortal Kombat in Smash.
Sure.
Bayonetta you could, because you can tone down Bayonetta's sex appeal and still retain her character's ethos. Same with Snake, but I just think that the over the top gore is so tied to Mortal Kombat
Yeah. Okay.
that it's hard to do.
Yeah.
The last one I wanted to mention was
Okay. Final one. Let's go.
a new Zelda rep.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Because Zelda's representation, and I wrote an article about this for CBR, is fucking terrible.
I agree.
I mean, you've got the Triforce represented, but Ganon's a clone. Link has fucking 2 other clones, and Zelda, right?
And she could.
And
Zelda.
she yeah. Let's not even get in the weeds there. But the point is, the Zelda franchise with Breath of the Wild has really reinvented itself aesthetically,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that deserves to be represented in a more acute way than just reskinning Link.
Yeah.
Urbosa should be in Smash.
That would be cool. I don't particularly have any drive for those characters. I think that they could be fine, but I have no personal interest, even though I love Breath of the Wild.
I think the reasons for Urbosa not only is would she represent a more modern era of Nintendo and a more modern era of Zelda, but she also adds more female representation to the roster.
Yeah.
I really hate when people break down the Smash Bros. Roster by gender disparity or race disparity, as though explicitly or implicitly Sakurai or the higher ups or anyone are like, no, we're not including Twintel because she's black or something like that. I think that whenever people do that, it's in such a bad faith.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I still think that that Nintendo has a really excellent stable of female characters that has not been tapped into.
Yeah.
I don't think ascribing bad motivations to that being the case is the right thing to do, nor do I even think that's an accurate representation of the way that newcomers have been added over the course of the history of the series. But it's indisputable that more female representation would be great, especially when it's Urbosa, when she wouldn't just feel tokenized. She's not just a female character. She's a fucking incredibly interesting Gerudo fighter with a really fun elemental moveset, a really striking visual identity that I think checks a ton of boxes that I think would be just really awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that'd be great. And I mean, it would be clear promotion for Age of Calamity and for Breath of the Wild too, but you know, they can get away with it. I mean, look, they can do that. They gave me my ARMS rep 3 years after it came out and after everyone stopped giving a shit. I'll be happy with anything else that we get in the Fighters Pass because I got Spring Stadium in the game. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, at least that happened. Because here's the thing. I am a Smash Brothers fan. Most of my games that I like, I have gotten introduced to through Smash Brothers. Most of my interest in video game history and game collecting and just everything about video games comes from my connection to Smash Brothers. Except for ARMS/Min, I have not had a character announced since I became a Smash Brothers fan that I was previously a fan of. Incineroar, yeah, sure, I like Pokemon, but Incineroar wasn't a character I was attached to, but I had never played Persona, I had never played Dragon Quest, I'd never played Banjo-Kazooie or Fatal Fury or even Castlevania or Donkey Kong Country. All these characters that got announced are clearly iconic, and I don't doubt their inclusion. Aside from ARMS, I haven't had one that I personally connected to. And then I was like, my Gatorade Get Hype moment. And I think that's fine because I'm in a minority of gamers that hasn't played any of these series. But a man can dream. And if they can give me Maxwell or Tails or Rex and Pyra, look, I'm gonna do the things that you were saying about Travis touchdown to myself. So
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I mean I got reps in Ultimate, and I got a lot of reps that really spoke to me in Smash 4, but the DLC not so much.
mhm.
I was excited. I was excited for Byleth. I was excited for Banjo. Those are the two biggest ones for me, and even Min Min I put at number 3. But it was more of an oh cool, there they are. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
I haven't had that jaw dropping moment with a
yeah,
Smash reveal in a while. So my number one hope tomorrow is that regardless of who it is, we get a fucking badass trailer,
yeah,
and that I go, oh my god, it's fucking Dante, Travis, QB, Slippy, somebody, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll see.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
we will see in 15 hours.
Wait, is that true? No,
Did
that's
the
not
quick
true.
did the quick math? Yeah, it is. No, no, no. 16 hours. No. Wait, yes, 16 hours. Yeah.
You're right. It's
Nine,
16 hours.
yeah. Almost to the exact fucking dot.
Yeah.
But that clues you into when we're recording this, but who cares? We're gonna be putting this up tonight. I'm excited for this video to go out. I'm gonna make a killer thumbnail for this with all sorts of video game characters. My thumbnail game has been on point recently. I'm not ashamed to
It's
admit
been
it.
so fucking good, dude.
And I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow morning. We'll see if we can get Timo and Tanner up and at 'em. Record a live reaction with the four of us. Hopefully Timo can get his streaming skills going and we can crack that one up bright and early. But I'll see you tomorrow. And you, including the audience.
I'll see everyone you just mentioned vaguely tomorrow also.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. That was
was
long,
great.
but I didn't feel the timeline. I felt like Godfather Part 2, card in the corner. I didn't feel the length of this discussion one bit.
That was a shameless self-promotion. But also, you know what's shameless self-promotion? Subscribe to our channel. If you watch this whole thing and you're not subscribed to us, look how funny we are. Look how great we are. We're fucking amazing. And our content's just going to keep getting better. And all those cards, I hope you clicked on if you watch all those videos. It's going to be the longest video ever if you click on each the Pokemon video and the ranking video and the Godfather 2 Part 2 video and whatever.
Not the longest video ever. Not even the longest video I've seen this year. I watched. I didn't finish, but I started a 7-hour analysis of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Holy shit. That's bonkers. Okay, whatever. That was a tangent. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Don't forget me.
It's
been too long.
It's been too long.
They fucking forgot me because I wasn't saying it.
That's why we haven't getting any views.
I cut my hair this morning.
Can't tell. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I'm an honest individual.
But that's actually the response I like because I don't like when it gets unruly.
Was it unruly one day ago? Last time I
It
saw
felt
you?
unruly yesterday. Now it's cut back to 1/8 of an inch.
That's not very many inches.
That's very few.